The Roman Empire and the Plague. The history of the worst pandemics to strike Rome and the Byzantines in Antiquity and the Middle Ages. Written by Charles River editors. Narrated by Jim Johnston.
The Empire before the Plague. In 165 CE, during the reigns of Marcus Aurelius and Lucius Verus, co-emperors and the fifth successors to Domitian, reigned 81 through 96 CE. The Roman Empire was at the height of its glory, stretching from Britannia to the Euphrates, and from the Rhine to the Desertum Africanum, Sahara. The empire was in a relative state of peace, apart from the constant hostilities with Parthia, Persia, and the barbarians beyond the Rhine and Danube. More importantly, the empire enjoyed internal peace, a political stability introduced by the Antonine dynasty, of which Lucius Verus was the fourth emperor. Nerva had been the first of the dynasty, assuming office in the year 96. He was the first of the so-called five good emperors, who distinguished themselves from the emperors of the preceding Flavian dynasty by dying of natural causes. Those 6 emperors could only claim 21 years of rule between them, and 4 died violently. Hadrian is arguably the most famous of the 5 emperors, but his successor, Antoninus Pius, was one of the most revered of the Roman emperors, even in his day, and his reputation has survived down the centuries, possibly because another great emperor, Marcus Aurelius, was so full of admiration and praise for his adopted father. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "He was always equal to the occasion, cheerful, yet long-sighted enough to have all of his dispositions unobtrusively perfected down to the last detail. He had an ever-watchful eye to the needs of the empire, prudently conserving its resources and putting up with the criticisms that resulted. Before his gods he was not superstitious, before his fellow men he never stooped to bid for popularity or woo the masses, but pursued his own calm and steady way." Antoninus Pius was Rome's second bearded emperor, and according to contemporary sources he was quite handsome, well-built, and physically strong. He was unusually tall for the time, and in later years his height caused him considerable difficulty, so much so that he had to wear splints of lime wood to keep his frame erect. As a result, he was in a great deal of pain during his final years. According to both contemporary accounts and modern historians, he was something of an enigma. There's a general agreement that he was a man of even temper, unambitious, and self-effacing, but he was dedicated to his role as emperor and had a strong sense of duty. He ruled for nearly 25 years, but in that time he left much less of a mark on the empire.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?